What if I told you the next few weeks could decide the future of XRP, crypto regulation, and trillions of dollars waiting to enter the market? Right now, fireworks are exploding in Washington as lawmakers battle over one of the most important crypto bills ever created. This is not small news. This is the type of moment that can shape XRP's future for years. Welcome back to XRP Gold Silver Scope, where we break down the biggest XRP and crypto updates in simple English so you never miss what matters. At the center of all the noise is the Clarity Act. This bill is designed to answer one question that has confused the crypto industry for years. What is a security and what is a commodity? That may sound boring to some people, but for XRP holders, this is massive. Because unclear rules have been one of the biggest reasons crypto companies faced lawsuits, investigations, and delays. If regulators clearly define the rules, then projects like XRP could finally operate in a more stable environment. Right now, lawmakers are racing against time. There are only around 9 to 10 weeks left to move this bill forward before election season takes over Washington. Once politics becomes fully focused on elections, many major bills get delayed or completely die. That means this short window could be the best chance for crypto clarity to happen now. If they miss it, the market may need to wait much longer. Some lawmakers say America needs to move fast or risk losing innovation to other countries. And honestly, they have a point. Over the last few years, many crypto businesses moved operations outside the United States because regulations were confusing. Instead of getting clear answers, many companies faced threats of enforcement. That created fear. And when fear grows, innovation leaves. This matters to XRP because Ripple has spent years dealing with legal pressure and uncertainty. XRP holders already know what unclear regulation can do. It can freeze momentum, slow partnerships, scare investors, and create years of frustration. So when lawmakers now talk about giving the industry real rules, XRP investors should pay attention. Some leaders in Washington are saying crypto is not just about digital coins anymore. They believe this is tied to financial leadership, artificial intelligence, payments, tokenization, and future technology. In simple words, they see crypto as part of the next economic system. If America leads, it gains power. If America falls behind, another country may set the rules. And this is where XRP becomes extremely important. XRP is not just another coin people trade for hype. XRP has long been connected to fast payments, cross-border transfers, banking efficiency, and liquidity movement. If governments begin building proper legal frameworks, utility-based assets like XRP may become more attractive to institutions. Why? Because institutions want certainty before they commit serious money. Think about it like this. Retail investors can take risks quickly. Institutions usually move slower. They need legal protection, compliance structure, and confidence. If a law like the Clarity Act gives them that confidence, money that was sitting on the sidelines could start moving. Many people in crypto believe trillions of dollars are waiting outside the gate for clear rules. Is that guaranteed? No. But the logic is simple. Large funds, banks, payment firms, and corporations usually do not move aggressively into uncertain markets. Once the path becomes safer, they pay attention. Another major issue is competition with the rest of the world. Europe already moved forward with crypto frameworks. Other regions are also building rules. If the United States delays too long, innovation may continue leaving. That means jobs, technology, talent, and investment all go elsewhere. For XRP, global adoption matters more than hype. XRP's strongest story has always been real-world use, not memes. If countries and institutions seek faster settlement systems, low-cost transfers, and digital asset liquidity, XRP stays in the conversation. That is why regulation matters so much. It can unlock use cases that were blocked by uncertainty. Now let's talk politics. Even though some Democrats supported progress before, the Senate battle is more difficult. New demands are appearing, new conditions are being added. Some lawmakers want ethics rules included, others want changes involving decentralized finance. In simple words, more negotiations mean more delays, and delays create risk. Markets hate uncertainty. Investors hate uncertainty. Builders hate uncertainty. Every week wasted increases the chance that this bill gets stuck. If that happens, crypto may once again be left waiting for answers. Still, there is strong pressure building from the business world. Many believe America cannot keep pushing innovation offshore. They argue that crypto, blockchain payments, tokenized finance, and digital assets are too important to ignore. They want rules that protect users while allowing companies to grow. That balanced approach could be the key. Not over-regulation, not zero regulation, but smart regulation. If lawmakers find that middle ground, then XRP could benefit in a powerful way. Why? Because XRP already has brand recognition, exchange listings, utility discussions, and one of the most loyal communities in crypto. When legal fog clears, known assets often gain attention first. But make no mistake, nothing is guaranteed yet. This battle is still live. Political games are still happening. Some support the bill, some oppose it. Some may support it only after changes are made. So the next few weeks may become one of the most important periods crypto investors have seen in years. And for XRP holders, this could be the beginning of a new chapter, because once clarity enters the market, value can finally be judged more by utility than confusion. The situation in Washington is getting more complicated every day, and if you think this is just normal politics, think again. This is turning into a full-scale battle over the future of crypto in the United States, and XRP is indirectly caught in the middle of it. Right now, the Clarity Act is facing pressure from multiple directions. On one side, you have lawmakers who believe crypto needs clear rules so innovation can grow. On the other side, you have lawmakers who are worried about risks like money laundering, illegal transactions, and lack of control in decentralized finance. Both sides believe they are protecting the country, but their approaches are completely different. This is where things get stuck, because instead of a smooth path to approval, the bill is now becoming a negotiation battlefield. Some lawmakers are demanding stronger oversight. Others are asking for ethics protections and stricter rules around how digital assets interact with political and financial systems. Every new demand adds more time, more debate, and more uncertainty. And uncertainty is exactly what the crypto market hates. For XRP holders, this matters deeply because XRP sits in a unique position in the crypto world. It is not just a speculative asset. It is closely tied to payment systems, cross-border transfers, and financial infrastructure discussions. So whenever regulation discussions happen, XRP indirectly becomes part of the conversation about how the future financial system should work. One major concern raised in these debates is decentralized finance. Some lawmakers argue that developers of DeFi protocols should not be held responsible for how others use their code. They say developers are just builders, not controllers of user behavior. But others disagree, saying this creates loopholes that bad actors could exploit. This disagreement is one of the biggest roadblocks, because if developers are fully protected, critics fear it could open doors for misuse. But if developers are held responsible, innovation could slow down dramatically, because nobody wants legal risk for simply writing code. So lawmakers are stuck trying to balance freedom and security at the same time. And while this debate continues, time is running out. There are only weeks left before political focus shifts completely toward elections. Once that happens, most major legislation either gets delayed or pushed into the next cycle. That is why people are saying this is a now or never moment for crypto clarity. Another layer of this political tension is competition between different financial systems. Some policymakers believe that if the United States does not lead in crypto regulation, other countries will set the standard instead. And once global standards are set elsewhere, America may be forced to follow instead of lead. That is a big concern for long-term economic power, because financial leadership has always been a key advantage for the United States. From banking systems to stock markets, global finance has often revolved around U.S. structures. But crypto is changing that. It is borderless, decentralized, and global by nature. So whoever sets the rules first could influence how the entire world adopts digital assets. This is why some lawmakers are pushing for urgency. They believe delaying regulation is actually more dangerous than moving forward with imperfect rules. In their view, uncertainty has already pushed innovation outside the country. Crypto companies, exchanges, and stablecoin issuers have increasingly moved operations offshore where rules are clearer. That is a major shift, because once innovation leaves, it is very difficult to bring it back. For XRP specifically, this global shift matters because Ripple has always focused on international payments and institutional partnerships. XRP's use case depends heavily on cross-border systems, banking integration, and liquidity flows. If regulation becomes clearer in major markets, it opens the door for wider adoption of technologies like XRP in real-world finance. But if the U.S. delays too long, other systems may dominate first. Another important factor is political responsibility. If the bill fails, different groups will try to assign blame. Some will say one party blocked progress. Others will say the bill was flawed from the beginning. This blame game is already starting behind the scenes. And this is where politics becomes strategy. Because passing the bill is not just about crypto anymore. It is about who controls the narrative of innovation. Whoever is seen as supporting innovation may gain political advantage. Whoever is seen as blocking it may face criticism from industries, investors, and voters who care about technology growth. So now, the Clarity Act is not just a crypto bill. It is a symbol of whether America wants to lead or lag in the next financial era. Meanwhile, regulatory agencies are already preparing. Even without final legislation, institutions like financial regulators are positioning themselves to act quickly once rules are defined. They know that once clarity arrives, the industry could expand rapidly. And that is why so many people are watching this closely. Because once regulation is locked in, capital does not wait. It moves fast. For XRP holders, this is where patience becomes important. Markets often move before news fully settles. But major structural changes like regulation take time to reflect in price and adoption. That means the real impact is not immediate hype, but long-term positioning. If clarity comes, it could reshape how XRP is viewed in the financial system. But if delays continue, uncertainty remains the dominant force. And in crypto, uncertainty always slows momentum. Now the biggest question is simple. What happens next? Because everything in Washington is building toward one critical moment. The Clarity Act is either going to move forward and reshape the crypto industry, or it will get delayed and push uncertainty further into the future. There is no middle ground that feels comfortable for the market. Right now, lawmakers are under heavy pressure. They are trying to balance innovation, regulation, political responsibility, and public safety all at the same time. But the problem is, the more they try to satisfy every side, the slower the process becomes. And in fast-moving markets like crypto, delay often creates more damage than disagreement. For XRP holders, this is where the story becomes very important. Because XRP sits at the intersection of regulation and real-world utility. Unlike many speculative assets, XRP has always been connected to payments, liquidity, and cross-border financial systems. That means whenever governments discuss clear crypto rules, XRP is indirectly part of that conversation about how modern finance should work. If the Clarity Act passes or moves forward in a strong way, it could bring something the crypto market has been waiting for a long time: confidence. Confidence is powerful in financial markets. When institutions are confident about rules, they move capital faster. They build products. They integrate systems. They invest long-term instead of staying on the sidelines. And if that happens, XRP could benefit from a more structured environment where its use case becomes easier to adopt by banks, fintech companies, and global payment providers. But if the bill fails or gets delayed again, the opposite happens. Uncertainty stays in place. And uncertainty is what has slowed down crypto innovation in the United States for years. Another key point is how agencies are reacting behind the scenes. Regulatory bodies are not waiting for perfect clarity. They are already preparing frameworks, guidelines, and internal systems so that once Congress makes a final decision, implementation can begin quickly. That means when the green light comes, changes could roll out faster than people expect. This is important because it shows something deeper. The system is already preparing for crypto to become a permanent part of the financial structure. It is no longer a question of if, but more about how and when. Globally, the pressure is also increasing. Other regions have already started building clearer frameworks for digital assets. This puts additional pressure on the United States to avoid falling behind. Financial leadership is not just about innovation anymore, it is about setting the rules that others follow. And this is where XRP's long-term story becomes even more relevant. XRP has always been positioned as a bridge asset in global finance. If regulation becomes clearer across major markets, XRP could find stronger alignment with institutional systems that value speed, efficiency, and cross-border liquidity solutions. But timing is everything. If clarity comes early, XRP could see stronger adoption opportunities. If it comes late, other systems may establish dominance first. That is why the next few weeks are so important. Political decisions are not just shaping laws, they are shaping market direction, investor confidence, and long-term innovation pathways. Now, let's be honest. Nothing in this process is guaranteed. There are still disagreements, political negotiations, and last-minute changes happening behind closed doors. That means outcomes can shift quickly. One amendment, one delay, or one vote can change the entire direction of the bill. But one thing is clear. Crypto is no longer ignored. It is now part of serious political, financial, and economic discussion at the highest level. And that alone tells you how far the industry has come. For XRP holders, the smartest approach right now is awareness, not emotion. These types of developments do not always create instant price reactions. Instead, they build the foundation for long-term shifts in how the market operates. If clarity arrives, it will not just affect XRP, it will affect the entire crypto ecosystem, from exchanges to stablecoins, to decentralized finance to institutional adoption. And in that environment, assets with real utility often become more important over time. Before we close this breakdown, here is the key takeaway. The Clarity Act is not just a bill. It is a turning point for crypto regulation in the United States. And whatever happens next will influence how the next era of digital finance is built. For now, all eyes remain on Washington, because the next decision could either unlock a new phase of growth or extend the uncertainty a little longer.